Moving money around. It's important. In fact, did you know we have a global economy based on it? It's true. And for those of you who are already working with a payment provider to move money, Plaid helps with products like Auth to get verified account information and Signal and Balance to catch cases of fraud or insufficient funds before they happen. But if you're not already working with a payment provider, Plaid can also handle the entire workflow for you with Plaid Transfer, Plaid's all-in-one solution for moving money. Most transfers can be categorized into 3 use cases: customers sending money to you sending money to them, and you facilitating transfers between 2 customers. We're going to focus on the first one for today's video. Now, Transfer makes use of the ACH payment network for these types of transfers. It's the same system that manages things like direct deposit, and it requires a checking or savings account. So to get started with Transfer, create a link token like normal, and make sure to include Transfer in the products array. Exchange the public token you get back for an access token. When your customer wants to send you money, create a transfer authorization by calling transfer authorization create. Send along the access token, the account ID to use, whether you want to use same-day ACH, and other important information like your user's name, the amount of money to send, and the ACH class code to use. Plaid can help you with this one. Make sure to specify this is a debit payment, which means the money is coming out of the user's account. When you create this authorization, Plaid will run a number of checks, including looking for risky transfers and making sure the user has enough funds in their account. Depending on the situation, your authorization may be approved, declined, or approved with some warnings. So even if your authorization comes back as approved, you should look at the value of this decision rationale field. This could indicate that Plaid wasn't able to retrieve the user's balance in real time, so you'll need to make a case-by-case decision. If it's null though, you should be okay. Next, make a call to transfer create, passing along the authorization ID. You'll also need to resend the account ID, a description, and optionally some metadata. At this point, your payment is marked as pending, meaning it's in Plaid's system and we're ready to send the request off to the ACH network. When we send off the request, something Plaid typically does a few times a day to coincide with the ACH windows, your payment will be marked as posted. The ACH network then begins the process of withdrawing the user's funds from their bank. If you're using same-day ACH, and most of our customers are, and you made that day's cutoff, this will happen that afternoon. At this point, the transfer is marked as settled, but let's put some air quotes around that, because it's not really. It just means your user sees the transaction in their bank account. There's still a chance that the user doesn't actually have the funds to cover the transfer, and if that happens, the transfer will be returned. In the meantime, the funds that you would receive have been placed in your ledger. This is a balance that you maintain with Plaid, but it's in a pending balance, which means you can't touch it yet. Now, something like 99% of all returns happen in the next 5 days. So if after 5 business days everything still looks good, those funds will be moved to your available balance. You can then use this money to fund outgoing transfers or put it in your own bank account. However, a customer can still dispute authorized charges for up to 60 days. In the rare case that does happen, Plaid will return those funds back to the user, withdrawing that money from your ledger. To stay on top of all the changes that are happening with your transfers, call Transfer Event Sync. This will give you a full list of events, sequentially ordered, across all your transfers. Each event has an ID, which you can use in future calls to make sure you only receive new events. And all this information is available directly through the Plaid dashboard. There you can see the history of every transfer and perform tasks like cancel transfers before they're sent off, issue refunds, and manage your ledger. To make development and testing easier, the dashboard also lets you change the status of sandbox transfers with the push of a button. And of course, all these actions are also available in the API if you feel like building your own interface, you overachiever you. There's even more that Transfer offers, including a system to handle refunds and recurring transfers for subscription services, but you'll have to check out the docs for those. I'm already over time here. This has been Plaid Transfer in 3-ish minutes. To find out more about Transfer, check out the documentation, and hey, why not subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can find more videos like this one once they're available. Happy transferring!